All right, so this video is for those who are smart, but at some point you keep questioning your intelligence. I mean, I feel like most times it's even smart people that get to question your intelligence. So if you are smart or you think you're smart, but based on how things are going with your job, you're questioning your intelligence, then watch this video. In the past 1 year, I have failed at 4 jobs. When I mean failed, I've been sacked at 4 jobs. And looking back, I realized that the problem is not intelligence. The problem is structure. Now, hear me out before I go deep into it. There's a difference between having a skill and sustaining performance. And mind you, I've had this discussion with a couple of people. I remember one very, very practical example where I was sharing with a guy about he was like, why have I not gotten a job? I mean, it's a little bit different context. He was like, has he not gotten a job? It feels like he knows everything. He knows everything that he needs to know. And then I had to point out to him that he has not covered everything he needs to actually succeed in a job. Now, let's bring this into my experience. I got into the GTM engineering world about 18 months ago. And in 12 months, I got fired 4 times, 4 different companies. I started my journey with internship, and I have this very special skill of knowing how to build relationships with people. So if I'm going into a new industry, it's really easy for me to get hired. But what I've realized is hiring does not just sustain you. So I know how to build a relationship with founders, know how to network my way, know how to convince people, know how to pitch for jobs. And the first job I got, which was an internship position, I got fired 2 months after. It wasn't because I was a lazy person. I'm not a lazy person. It wasn't because I was not learning on the job. I was. But what I realized after losing the first job, which I didn't pay attention to till the fourth one, was that I was not paying attention to the system of operation that needs two things. One, the system of operation that demands me to give outputs to the company. And then I was not putting a structure around my strengths and how I get to deliver work. First most important thing, I was not documenting. I learned this year, and it has really changed the game for me. I'd always just gotten into a job, and the first thing I do is, where's the task? I want to perform well in this job. I don't want them to sack me. I don't want them to feel like I don't know what I'm doing. And then you just get heads on into it. My current job, which I've been progressing really fast, it's been 3 months working with them, and I've been promoted twice. That's because the system changed. The first thing I did when I joined was I needed to set up a structure for documenting how I understand tasks, how I'm going to be delivering, my time availability, the way I simplify things. Everything is well documented. Now I have structure. Then number 2 is I didn't create systems. I think that this is one of the problems that geniuses actually suffer from. They are erratic. And I'm not trying to say that being erratic is not good, but especially if you're the type that does not believe in being boxed into systems. I also had that notion. You might struggle when it comes to delivering very high standard stuff. That's if you're working in an organization, if you're trying to deliver stuff, you need systems in place. I didn't build system for any of these first 4 companies. I was just like I was just like, is it a hog in a wheel? I don't know how it's called, but I was just following the pattern. I didn't try to create a system for myself, and I was always reacting. So every job I was working in, it just felt like I was starting from scratch. No system, no order, nothing like that. And I believe that many of you too must have been in this particular shoe. I mean, you that you're listening to this, you must have felt to yourself like, I know this thing now. I'm better than these people out there. I don't think any other person knows this thing more than myself. Why have I not been promoted? Why have I not gotten the results I want? Well, probably because you're not documenting your process. You're not documenting how you operate. That would help you understand your strengths. Two, you don't have any system for yourself. You don't have any system for operating in the role that you belong to. And then number three, you are always reacting. So what can you do? How do you change the game for yourself? How do you ensure that you become very, very indispensable at your workplace? One, start by documenting. And now we are all lucky. We are in the age of AI, where AI gets to um, you can use AI to set up systems for yourself to document things. One of the ways that I document is every of the workflows I build, I create SOPs. SOPs is just system of operation. So one, as a GTM engineer, you get to build workflows a lot. You get to build projects, agents a lot. Before, I'll just build and then that's it. By the end of the day, I go rest. But now, as I'm building, I'm documenting my workflow. The reason why I'm doing this is there's always a time in days later, weeks later, I would need to make reference. Most times I have to now go and start rethinking. Now I have documentations, I have SOPs for me. So it ensures that these days I finish tasks like 3 times faster than before. So I mean, they always say that the reward for task is more task. But obviously when you're crushing your goals, you would also get compensation. So even if more tasks are coming to your table. So you need to document everything you do. You need to have a system. You need to have a knowledge base, a knowledge hub for what you're doing. Then two, you need to create systems. I turned a lot of my tasks to repeatable systems. Now I'm not trying to say go and learn all LLM tools available. I know how to use ChatGPT. I've recently started messing around with Cloud Code just so that I can create systems that are repetitive. So I don't have to like go and start things all over again. I mean, this applies to any career profession. This is not just probably because I am a GTM engineer. If you're in architecture, if you're a writer, there are some basic things that you repeat every day. You should already be able to create systems from it. And I'm not saying you could create a system by just manually documenting it down. Oh, this is how I do this. This is how I do this. This is how this is done. And then you follow it. Or you could just use AI agents to actually document your, turn it into a repeatable system. And then you should create a default way you operate. And lastly, I would say use tools. Tools can actually really help you improve speed. I was shocked when I was conversing with somebody last year who wanted to do a research paper. So I recommended using ChatGPT to this person, and the question the person is asking, yeah, that's going to waste time and everything. I need to spend the entire night doing the research paper and everything. I was shocked. Because all you just needed to do was just send a prompt to and I did this in 4 minutes. This person had their research paper completed, all edited, all formatted. So this is 2026. You don't want to be average. You don't want to be just an average employee. You don't want to just be an average worker. You want to be indispensable. You want to be delivering value to your company. One, document everything you do. Two, turn them into repeatable systems. Three, create a default way for how you operate. And lastly, use tools to increase your speed. My name is Ajayi Joel. If this is the first time you're watching my video, please subscribe, like, comment, share with your friends. There is a lot of value that you're going to be learning on how to improve yourself, how to make more money, how to think about ideas and execute, how to build businesses, and how to actually grow in your career 10x. Thank you.